In May 2022, Suzuki dropped the bombshell that it would be leaving MotoGP at the end of the 2022 season, despite signing a contract at the beginning of the season promising to stay till 2026. Riders, members of the teams, and fans were quite shocked to hear the news because the team was performing well on the paddock. But Suzuki had its reasons for making the decision, and in this video, you'll find out why. Suzuki was quite popular on the MotoGP paddock for the right reasons, so before diving into the reasons it left, let's do a quick run through of its racing performance over the year.
I've never seen that happen before. Surely Richard's not going to try.
It all started in 1971, when Grand Prix racer Jack Finlay and his business partner Daniele Fontana constructed a racing motorcycle using a Suzuki T-Series engine. With the motorcycle, Finlay rode to victory in the 1971 Ulster Grand Prix. That victory opened Suzuki's eyes to the potential its two-stroke engine motorcycles had in the 500cc class, so it began working towards joining a works team. In 1974, Suzuki finally entered a works team in the 500cc Grand Prix World Championship. Its riders, Barry Sheene and Jack Finlay, had raced with the Suzuki RG500. The team performed fairly well as Barry Sheene finished in second place in one of the races. The next year, the team won its first race when Barry Sheene had a pole-to-finish win at the Dutch TT. He won one more race that year and emerged sixth overall. The team won its first Riders' Championship title in 1976, with Barry Sheene having a total of 5 wins. The next year, Barry retained his championship title by winning 6 races. In 1978, the motorcycle was changed to Suzuki RGA, and Barry Sheene finished second in the championship. The next year, Barry Sheene came third, but all the first 4 top riders for that year were riding Suzuki's new motorcycle, the RGB. In 1980, the riders of the team came second and third, but the next year one of its riders, Marco Lucinelli, won the 500cc World Championship title, riding the Suzuki RG500 Gamma. The next year was also a good year for Suzuki, as the team's rider won 5 races to become the world champion. In 1983, Suzuki withdrew factory support from the team it was supporting, and stayed away for 3 years. In 1987, Suzuki returned partially to the paddock, and the riders had good results on the new Suzuki RGV500. The team returned fully in 1988, but didn't have an impressive performance until 2 years later. In 1990, one of the team's riders emerged second, and the next year, a rider emerged third. Then in 1993, the team won a championship title again when Kevin Schwantz won 4 races. The team struggled for about 4 years after that and didn't win any races until 1999. Kenny Roberts Jr., the team rider, was able to win 4 races and finish in second place. Roberts became world champion in 2000 by winning 4 races, and the Suzuki team was unable to win any races for a long time after that. In 2011, Suzuki pulled out of MotoGP because it had to reduce costs amidst the global economic crisis. Then it returned in 2015, but the team did not record any win until 2020. The win in 2020 was glorious. As the team had not won a championship title in 20 years. That year, it won its first team title and the riders' title. The incredible Joan Mir had ridden them to victory. The team's performance picked up after that, and they resumed winning races. Then, Suzuki sent a shockwave through MotoGP's community when it announced its departure in 2022. After the Jerez round of the MotoGP World Championship, Round 2 in 2022, Suzuki Motor Corporation revealed its intentions of walking away from the championship just 7 years after its previous departure. No one on the team had any idea that it was coming and were utterly disappointed to hear the news. But most people thought it was impossible, as the team had just signed a contract at the beginning of the season to stay until 2026. Then just a week later, Suzuki showed that it meant business when it released a brief statement that showed they had begun discussions with Dorna, MotoGP's governing body. The statement read, "Suzuki Motor Corporation is in discussions with Dorna regarding the possibility of ending Suzuki's participation in MotoGP at the end of 2022. We would like to express our deepest gratitude to our Suzuki X-Star team, to all those who have supported Suzuki's motorcycle racing activities for many years, and to all Suzuki fans who have given us their enthusiastic support." Many people were crushed by the statement, but then their hopes were raised when Dorna responded with a statement that showed that if they didn't agree to it, Suzuki couldn't leave. Quote, "Following recent rumors of Suzuki departing MotoGP at the end of 2022, Dorna Sports has officially contacted the factory in order to remind them that the conditions of their contract to race in MotoGP do not allow for them to take this decision unilaterally." Suzuki had taken the warning seriously and intensified their meetings with Dorna because they were no longer interested in racing. After several back and forth with the governing body, Dorna agreed that it was best for the Japanese team to take its leave. But Suzuki didn't leave without paying a price, as a huge fine was attached to the contract it had signed just at the beginning of the year. The exact price paid remains unknown. So why exactly did the team decide against waiting until 2026 when the contract would end before taking their leave? Previously, when Suzuki left the paddock, the reasons behind their decision would be clear to everyone, and they always said that they were taking a temporary break. For instance, when they left in 2011, things were not going fine for the company. The effect of the global crisis was deeply felt by the company, and the motorcycle market was drying up. It also didn't help that during that period, Japan suffered a serious earthquake and tsunami. Suzuki was greatly affected by the disaster and had to leave to cut costs, but they revealed their intention of returning when things were stable again. But this time around, there was no clear reason behind the decision. The team was performing well and their motorcycle market was booming. The organization just decided at the middle of the season that it didn't want to race again. What even made it more confusing was that they didn't decide to leave MotoGP alone, but also the Endurance World Championship, where its team was the reigning champion. Several people made speculations about the reason. Some said that the reason they were leaving was because the Japanese corporation had no interest in producing motorcycles anymore. But the real reason got revealed in an official statement made by the Motor Corporation. The reason stated was that the corporation had to reallocate the resources that were directed at building motorcycles to the new electric vehicle shift. They said they didn't have the resources to manage the two projects at the same time and had prioritized the sustainability project over racing. Toshiro Suzuki said, quote, "Suzuki has decided to end the participation of MotoGP and EWC in the face of the need to reallocate resources on other initiatives for sustainability. Motorcycle racing has always been a challenging place for technological innovation, including sustainability, and human resources development. This decision means that we'll take on the challenge to build the new motorcycle business operation with resources we've cultivated through the motorcycle racing activities." End quote. Despite the statement, many people still find it hard to believe that they didn't have intentions of leaving the motorcycle market. So, a statement was also released to convince the people that they're still committed to motorcycles and power sports market, saying, "This business decision does not undermine Suzuki's dedication and commitment to its motorcycle market and the ATV business, or the US power sports market. Suzuki Motor Corporation will continue to deliver and service the premium quality Suzuki motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters you've come to expect." The reason behind the corporation's decision is quite solid, and many people have come to accept it. The drivers, Alex Rins and Joan Mir, are now with Honda Racing Corporations to race for the LCR Honda Racing Team and Honda Factory Racing Team respectively. Although the team is not one of the top teams, the riders might perform well on the team or join other teams if they don't find it suitable. The Suzuki team will be greatly missed, and they might find a reason to resume racing in the future. Do you think Suzuki made the right decision by leaving MotoGP, and do you think they'll ever return? Let us know in the comment section down below. Well, we've come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you in the next video.